Hello and welcome to another video. Today we're not going to talk about this one, and we're also not going to talk about these very cool seats. Today I'm gonna test drive the facelift version. I actually had already the chance to drive 2 or 3 of those when we had clients here who wanted to do some stuff on their cars. And now I got the car from a friend. You already saw some pictures of it because we installed for him I think it was just the mud flaps. We already worked on that car, and he's gonna come back today, and I'm gonna have a test drive with it and just let you know what I think about the new one. Some of you might find it interesting, some of you might think, oh yeah, another test drive, but yeah. So, if you keep watching, have fun, and let's go. So, that's the new one, as you can see, the facelift version. He has it in some kind of gray, and it's also manual, so no automatic gearbox. And it looks quite cool, to be honest. You can see some differences to the first version, and he already has very nice wheels. And we also installed the mud flaps and the armrest as well. And he has something also something else, which is street legal in Switzerland. Sorry. He's already smiling because that's one very cool thing. Yep. Street legal in Switzerland since a couple of weeks, month, I think. So it's gonna sound much better than stock. Yeah, other than that, from the front, the obvious changes, and it looks good. We had it here compared to not stock one, but the first generation one. I'm gonna show you the pictures. It's very interesting when you compare ride height from the first to the second version. The first one we had here was already lowered, and at the rear it's, I don't know if you can see it. You can see that it's lower at the rear than at the front, or at least it looks like it when you compare the wheel arches. But when you compare the lower part of the car, you can see the rear is still higher. That's some very interesting stuff they made. And obviously the bigger exhausts. They made some cool changes. I like the rear much better than I liked the first one. It looks much better for me. I'm still not a huge fan. The front is, I think, the best part of the car. And yeah. So it's fucking freezing, and let's hop in the car and go for a ride. So yeah, the interior is much better than the first one. I like it. It looks like a Mercedes V-Class or a piano. No, actually I really like it. It has some old school flair, but with new stuff. It's a lot of plastic, but it's also not a 80k car, so that's all right for me. Let's go for a drive. Actually, it's already warmed up, kinda. Let's see if I can still drive a manual. As soon as I start acting like it's a sequential, I'm gonna need to buy him a new gearbox. I just like to drive a GR. This one's it's stock-ish. It has a few mods, or the mods I already showed you, and I really like the armrest. It's so comfortable, and you can just put it away if you don't like it. I don't know if you can hear it. When you're not driving it too hard, you can hear the Eventuri very subtle in the background. You actually had the Du hast Ding drin gehabt, oder? Das Blow-Off.
The blow-off.
Yeah. We installed, I think we installed 2. In total, we installed like 10 blow-offs, and 2 of them were open. One of them was his, and it was
Crazy loud.
yeah, obnoxious. It did sound great, but you couldn't drive without it.
Yeah.
So I think that was if you drive the car on the road and like to have it a little bit subtle, not flashy and everything, I think you're good with a closed one. If you're just all in for all the rally noises, then go for a open one, because you get all the rally noises all the time. We just talked about the Eventuri. It's much louder from the outside. I don't know if you can hear it. But it's much louder for all the people around you. So you basically buy it for the public. It's a public service, kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have a GR Yaris and you're a responsible citizen, buy a Eventuri for your fellow motorists. Das ist schon geil. Yeah, I just talked about it. The car does drive really, really well. So second, third, fourth, that's just a lot of fun to drive. It's the perfect car for back roads.
Yeah. Bad roads.
Yeah. The worse they are, the better the car.
Yeah.
It's good I don't have one anymore, because I think I would lose my license in a week or so. But not now. We're driving obviously very responsible, all within the speed limits. Yeah, I think you said it before, it's a little bit softer than the first generation, and I think you can feel the power difference. It's not huge, but it revs easier up to not the red line. You can feel it slowing down a little bit after, so 5.5, 6,000 RPMs. But between 2.5 and 5.5 or 6,000, it's just an incredible cool car. If you don't have one, get one. Everybody should own one of these. Oh, and by the way, it's for sale. With the wheels and everything. So if you're from Switzerland, yeah. Most likely I'm gonna put the link to the ad in the description. And if you don't find it, just send me a mail and I'll send you the contacts. Interesting thing. When you're lifting off throttle, the car just pushes a little bit more. So it feels like the throttle isn't gonna close immediately when you get off it. When you lift off throttle, the car just pushes a little bit. I think it's a few milliseconds, maybe. But that's not very ideal when you're on the limit on a public road, which you never should be, obviously, and we would never do that, be on the limit on a public road. But if it happens in an emergency or something, then
We hear it from other guys.
yeah. I saw it in the TV somewhere.
Yeah.
That sometimes these things happen. Yeah. So on low RPM, it's even funnier, the intake.
Yeah. Yeah, when the sound is not so hard, not so loud from the car, then you
Yeah.
hear it much better.
We are back from the test drive. It's quite fun. It drives basically like the first generation GR Yaris. It's a little bit more powerful. It drives a little bit softer. Other than that, I think the differences are not that huge. Especially if you drive the car on the road, the differences won't be huge. The interior is different. But if you like the new one, you should get the new one. If you like the old one, better get the old one. Optics are different, but it's not a huge improvement. Technical, it's the better car of both, so that's pretty obvious. It has more cooling, more power. The front suspension is better and easier to install aftermarket parts and have them camber adjusted. Yeah, the exhaust end pipes are a little bit bigger than the old ones, so that's good. It looks better, I think. Yeah, it's an improvement, yes, but it's not that huge of an improvement that I would switch from a Gen 1 to a Gen 2. But if you like the new one, or if you don't have anyone at all, or if you want to have an automatic, then of course, then it's obvious you need the facelift version. Yeah, I still like the old one. Even in stock form, I think the old one's pretty cool. And in Switzerland at least, they're 16, 17, 18k cheaper than the new ones. So I think I would still get Gen 1 just to have some money to play with. So yeah, so that's it for this video. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. Other than that, thanks for watching. See you next time. Have a good week. Goodbye.